Welcome back, everybody, to 31 1990s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the 1990s. We're getting into some more cannibalism today with another very underrated movie. At number 23, we have Ravenous. I enjoy a good Western horror movie, and we don't have too many horror movie westerns out there. I mean, we do have some, like Tremors is definitely one of them, and of course we have Bone Tomahawk, which came out recently. There are a few more I know, I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but yeah, we need more horror westerns out there, and Ravenous is a very good horror western. And it has cannibalism in it. Cannibalism is one of my favorite subjects when it comes to horror movies because it is the ultimate taboo. Of all the wrong things that somebody can do, cannibalism seems to be at the top of that list. And that's why I find it fascinating in a morbid kind of way. And it's interesting because the movie starts off with this soldier being promoted for cowardice. This guy, Boyd, he was leading this group of people into this battle, and he froze, and everybody got killed around him. But because he was so terrified, because he was so terrified and so frozen with fear, the enemy soldiers piled him up with the dead and brought them into their fort. He was able to get out and take the fort after that. So his superiors, they want to punish him for his cowardice, but because he took the enemy fort, it wouldn't look good if they did that, so they promoted him and put him out in this outpost in the middle of fucking nowhere. This is where the rejects go. You know, they put them in this outpost just to keep them away from everybody else, essentially. But while they are there, this guy shows up who says that he was with this group traveling across the country. They got lost in the storm, and they had to resort to cannibalism because they got stuck out in this storm for so long. And so the whole idea is, he says he's trying to tell people where the survivors are because one of the party went sadistic with cannibalism and just started eating people.
I ate sparingly. Others did not. The meat did not last us a week, and we were soon hungry again, only this time our hunger was different.
One thing leads to another, and they find out that the person leading them out there is the cannibal, basically, as you would expect. But this leads to a fantastic, suspenseful, and very well done cannibal film. This is one of those movies where it views cannibalism in a supernatural way. Eating human flesh benefits a person in some kind of magical way, and that's an interesting way to look at it.
I ate 5 men in 3 months. Tuberculosis vanished.
It hints at the ideas of the Wendigo, but it doesn't really go into Wendigo territory. Nobody turns into some kind of ghoul that eats human flesh. They are still people, they just need to eat human flesh. Which brings us to Colonel Ives. Colonel Ives is the main cannibal of this movie, and he's such a good villain. He is fascinated with Boyd, and wants to get Boyd to join him in his world of cannibalism and immortality. So it creates this interesting dynamic throughout the film. One of my favorite scenes in the movie involves the wandering stranger, who we soon find out is Ives. He leads them to the area where he's intending to kill people and eat them. There's this really great scene, it's my favorite moment of the movie, where he walks up to this cowardly man
Run!
I love that. I love that moment. He just goes up to the guy and says, run, which shows that he enjoys what he's doing. Yes, he wants to kill these people and eat them, but he enjoys the thrill of the hunt, which makes him just that more sadistic. This is a period piece horror movie, and it does a good job at being a period piece horror movie. Like I said, we don't have enough horror westerns out there. I want to see more good quality horror westerns, and Ravenous is a good horror western. And it has a fair amount of twists and turns, too. It's surprisingly, as a movie about cannibalism, it's not as bloody as you'd think it would be. There's a fair amount of blood in here, but there are a lot of kills that are more on the suggested side, which I do appreciate. I mean, I do love me a good bloody movie, but when a movie is able to make a kill impactful while making it more suggested, I respect the hell out of that.
That'll do it. Good gracious.
I talked about Ravenous in a double feature review with Bone Tomahawk. The two would make for a fantastic double feature. They both involve cowboys, they both involve cannibalism. They're just both good, solid horror westerns that go so well together. So, yes, even though we are talking about 90s horror movies, if you want a good double feature for Halloween, I would recommend doing Ravenous and Bone Tomahawk. They are two movies about cannibalism in the Old West, and they blend so well together. But focusing on Ravenous, Ravenous is yet another underrated 90s horror movie that more people need to appreciate. Check this one out. It is one of the more accessible cannibal films, I would say. Most cannibal movies are really bloody, really disturbing. This is a fun cannibal movie. So I think it's a good cannibal film for people just getting into cannibal movies. So if you're looking for a cannibal film that's not as extreme as other cannibal films in the genre, Ravenous is a good way to go.